3 lifelong friends, 6 trusty balls, and endless NFL takes. Welcome to 3 Guys, 6 Balls NFL Podcast.
Welcome to episode 30 of 3 Guys, 6 Balls NFL Podcast. We've got a lot of great stuff for you guys today, so we're just going to jump right in. Last week, Will gave us a recap of Week 3, and this week, he's going to give us a recap of Week 4. So, Will, take it away.
All right, Week 4. Again, we had all 16 games starting Thursday, as it's going to for most of the rest of the season. We had Seahawks-Cardinals first. Not even cool jerseys could save the Cardinals season. JSN got stared down by that ref like he was being parented. Also, it is nice to see Sam Darnold playing good football right now. Vikings-Steelers in Dublin. Carson Wentz threw for 350 yards, 2 touchdowns, and they still lost to the new Father Time in a bag of rocks. We had Commanders-Falcons. Falcons decided they finally wanted to score points this week. Their defense, however, still questionable. Chargers at Giants. We had Jackson Dart season.
Jackson Dart.
Chargers are going to be just fine. But the Chargers, also, you're going to lose this game 9 times out of 10 because you're the Chargers and you just can't function on games like this. You're undefeated. They're winless. You're just going to lose it. It's just the way it works for you guys. Titans at Texans. AFC South is still bad. Titans are the worst of them. Eagles, Bucks. We had Eagles still not playing full 4 quarters of football, but somehow winning. Emeka is going to win Rookie of the Year. Let's just go ahead and lock that up now.
Oh, yeah.
Panthers, Pats. Panthers decided they were done playing defense this year. 1 game was enough for them. When we go to the Saints, Bills. Saints decided to let Chris Olave throw a pass before letting Tyler Shuck touch the ball again. Also, he did not complete that pass. That's not a joke.
Still a better option.
Chris Olave went 0 for 1 in passing this week, where Tyler Shuck did not touch it. Saints bad, Bills good. Browns, Lions, stat-wise, offensively at least, this game was fairly even. But the NFL, so we're going to give the Browns a loss anyway. And we got Jags, 49ers. 49ers had half of their punts this game returned for touchdowns. That was the big difference in this game. Well, that and our 4 turnovers. They only punted twice, and 1 of them was returned for a touchdown. It's not like they had 8 punts, but, half sounds better. And we had Colts, Rams. The Colts are doing their best to promote the new Chad Powers show from Hulu, and the Rams actually wanted to score in their long touchdown plays. So there's that. We had Bears at the Raiders. Raiders finally paid their offensive line to block for Ashton Genty, and it showed with 3 total touchdowns. And apparently at the very end of the game, the Raiders did not learn from the Rams last week that you need to protect your kicker on a field goal attempt to win the game. It got blocked. Ravens, Chiefs. Ravens, bad, I guess. Chiefs, good. Packers, Cowboys, 70 full minutes of football, and we still couldn't figure out who won that game. We had Jets, Dolphins. Fields is the problem, not the answer. Dolphins bad, Jets worse. Also, sorry to Tyreek Hill. That was gross. I'm so sorry.
That was rough.
That was rough. Bengals,
That was some
Broncos.
Evan Ware type injury.
Yeah.
If you guys remember that
That's
Louisville
a deep
basketball
cut.
player.
Yeah, that's a
Deep cut.
I was actually
Mexico
talking
when
about that
happened.
today. That
Oh,
was nasty.
And in our final Monday Night Football game, we had Bengals, Broncos. The Bengals are about to have a fire sale. They are the worst team in the NFL right now. Even though they've won a game, they are the worst team in the NFL. They have all the offensive weapons and still can't do anything. 3 total points when you have Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. You've got, I don't even know who your tight ends are anymore. You've got the worst team in the NFL. You can't stop anybody. You can't score. You are the worst.
Don't forget about Shamar.
Well, he didn't even play. He wasn't even playing.
I know.
You can forget about him. Yeah, it's your first round pick. Not even playing. Anyway, that was Week 4 in this show.
All right. Thanks, Will. Appreciate that. All right. So, like I mentioned before, we've got some good stuff for you guys today. We're going to talk about our top 3 MVP candidates after Week 4 of the season. We're going to discuss what is a franchise quarterback. But before we do all that, we're going to do our NFL gender reveal. And all right,
who do we identify as now?
Exactly. So the way that we had the order in this is I sent a text to the guys saying, how many sacks do you think Micah Parsons is going to get against the Cowboys? And whoever gets it or gets closest to it gets to decide who goes first. So Avery won, and Avery decided that the order is going to be Will, myself, and then himself. And so, Will, turn the time back over to you. Let us know who your new NFL team is.
Oh, here we go. It has been 5-6 weeks, right, since we left the Dallas Cowboys. I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan for 32 years now, and so this was a big life decision. a big pivotal moment in my life, which is kind of weird to say because it's just a football team to follow. But weekly, this affects my mood. This affects the decisions I make. This affects a lot of things in my life way more than it should. I know it sounds super sad, but that's
The
just
love
fandom.
for my children, everything.
I mean, that's just fandom. And so after talking with family, friends, everything like that, we have decided that the right move is staying with the Dallas Cowboys. No, I'm just kidding.
You're kidding me.
I'm just
okay,
kidding.
I was like, no way.
Oh, I wanted you guys to get mad.
I was gonna be so pissed
I
for a
wanted you guys
second.
to get mad.
I
was
felt
gonna
myself
be
getting
so
there, but he
pissed.
took the thing off.
We're going with the Los Angeles Rams. We're sticking with the local
Oh.
team, as I mentioned last week. Visitability is important to me, and going to Los Angeles, being on the West Coast, is technically drivable. You can make a weekend out of it. There's other stuff to do in LA. I'm excited. Watching the Rams game this last week was really exciting. And my wife was sleeping on my chest, and I was trying my hardest not to wake her up. But like every time they would do anything, like Tutu Atwell's big intercept or big touchdown at the end, they're like, "Oh my gosh!" She's like, "I'm trying to sleep." I'm like, "Yeah, but did you see this 80-something yard touchdown that you just got?"
This is our team.
Right. So yeah, that's where it is moving forward. The Los Angeles Rams.
All right, I knew it was an LA team. I knew it was
the Rams. I knew it.
I was gonna pick the Chargers, honestly, but I knew it was one of those two. Who do you guys think my team is?
I think it's the Bucks, but I also could see it being the Bills. Yeah, I don't think it's the Broncos. I think it's one of those two.
I think
What
it's
you will?
Buccaneers.
All right, well, the team that I have decided to choose as my new favorite team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I love it. I love it.
No, here's the real hat. Here's the real hat.
Nice.
Yeah. So some of the factors that played in for me is Levi's favorite color is red, and so that was kind of a big factor, is choosing a team with his favorite color. Also, a logo that he likes. He really likes this logo. Actually, when I showed him this hat, he was like, "Dad, I really, really want one of those hats, Dad." And so I was like, "Okay,
I
well,
want that hat.
maybe we'll get you one for Christmas." And so he really likes the logo. He really likes the color. The location doesn't really matter that much to me because I've never even been to a Dallas Cowboys game. So if I want to go see the Bucks play, I'll just go to Vegas because they're the closest team to me. Or I can go to, maybe see a Rams and Bucks game or Chargers and Bucks game in LA because they're pretty close to me as well. Also, bonus, Megan's aunt lives in Tampa. And so that gives us a reason to go there and visit. So that's just a bonus reason. Another factor is this wasn't like a huge factor for me, but this does play a little bit of a factor, is current players. I'm a big fan of Baker Mayfield and Bucky Irving and Emeka Egbuka, as you guys know. And, it doesn't really matter to me that they're not always going to be there because I've been through the cycle of players with the Cowboys for 25 years of, Jason Witten and Des Bryant and all those guys. So that plays a little bit of a factor, but it's not like a huge factor. Really what I like about the Buccaneers, though, is they have a history of bringing in guys in free agency that can help them win. And so I'll just stick to quarterbacks here. So they brought in Tom Brady, helped them win a Super Bowl. They brought in Brad Johnson, helped them win a Super Bowl. They've brought in Baker Mayfield, and, he hasn't won a Super Bowl, but he has kept them competitive after they lost Tom Brady to retirement. They also have a history of bringing in guys who have high character and are just guys that you want to root for. So like some current guys, you've got Mike Evans, you've got Emeka Egbuka, you've got Baker Mayfield, some older guys, there's like Rondé Barber, John Lynch, Derek Brooks. So that's what I really like. There was one concern that I had, and really the biggest concern is they don't have a very good history of drafting quarterbacks. They haven't really drafted quarterbacks that well. The last first-round quarterback they drafted was Jameis Winston, and that didn't work out too well. But that's just what you get with quarterbacks. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But what outweighed that for me is the fact that they can bring in other guys like Brad Johnson and Tom Brady and Baker Mayfield in free agency to help them win. So I'm picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as my new team.
Oh, called that one too.
This is going to be the first time in our, I mean, in the last 25 years that you and I have rooted for different teams.
Yep.
Dude, this looks strange. Just I'm in the middle of my screen,
Same.
and I just see both of you wearing just two completely different hats than I would ever imagine you guys wearing.
No, yeah,
Wild.
not Cowboys hats. Yeah.
I know.
Oh, it's like a parallel universe. I'm not gonna lie, this is strange.
All right, Avery, it's your turn. Who is your first ever NFL team, Avery?
Yeah, I had no prior team before this. I've always been a college guy, and I always will be a college guy first and foremost. But I was very excited for this when I heard that Joel and Will were renouncing their Cowboys fandom to pursue better, brighter endeavors. I was excited for them, and then they invited me to come along, and I said, only if you guys are serious about it. And they said, oh, we're serious. So, yeah, it's been fun because I have no real attachments here. I've been watching the NFL casually for about as long as you guys, maybe a little bit less probably. But yeah, do you guys have a guess? And for everyone watching, it came down to, in alphabetical order, the Broncos, Bucks, Chargers, Falcons, and Titans. Those were the teams that I landed on that were on the short list. I'm curious to hear if you guys have a guess.
I have two guesses for two different reasons, but Joel, you go first.
I don't know. I can see it being any one of those teams, honestly. I feel like it's the Falcons because I've had nightmares about you being a division rival to me.
I think it's going to be either the Broncos just to directly oppose Lincoln. Like
Yeah.
you love
I
Bo
would do
Nix.
that. I would do that.
You love Bo Nix. But Lincoln pretty much said, hey, we can root for whoever he wants, but you guys can't be AFC West fans. and then again, the Bo Nix factor, Sean Payton, you talked a lot about them and how you like them. Or the Falcons, because you talked a lot about how cool their logo is, and the team is semi-local to you. It's not as local as the Titans. And if the Titans were even a little bit good, I would consider them. But it's hard to be a fan of a team. This is why none of us... The first team off all of our list was the Browns. That's because they are perpetually bad. And so same with the Titans. Right now, they're just bad. And so I just can't see it.
Yeah, the Titans did not make it. I felt bad because the thing is one, there's not a whole lot of Titans fans over here. You would think there would be. This is SEC country. This is pure college area. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't think I could abide like watching a few like number of wins that you could count on one hand type seasons. Like I don't know if I want to just enter into that. But yeah, I did. I picked one of the other four teams. I thought a lot about this. Oh, you guys look so excited.
I'm so nervous.
I wanted to say that, first of all, one thing that was important, I was very sneaky about how I talked about all this. I was trying to obfuscate. But one thing is I wanted to root for a color other than blue and green. Carolina Tar Heels and Oregon Ducks, I got enough of that gear. I need something a little bit different.
Bucks and Falcons.
The other thing, I needed it to be at least semi-close or at least far enough away from the West Coast. Yeah, and I like some of their players. Anyway, the team I chose is the Bucks.
Oh, yes! Let's go!
That's awesome.
So yeah,
okay. So now Will leaves the same team as me, and Avery joins me.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
By the way, I do want to say that although I shared the same GIF in our group chat, Joel did ask, like, "Hey, do you have your team yet?" And I thought I was being so sneaky by throwing in this little GIF of Elmo going like, "I don't know." And he had red and orange. I'm like, watch this. He's going to be like, dang, he didn't tell me. And then I'm going to be like, there were clues in there. And within like a second, like before the GIF even fully sent, he's like, are you saying it's the Bucks because of orange and red? And I'm like, damn it, dude. Like, what the hell? It wasn't even like I said, I'm going to send a GIF with a clue. It was just a GIF. Anyway, and then I just resend it. I'm like, dang it, he's already on to me. But yeah, one thing is, I think they've been exciting for a bit. They do have a lot of players that I like. I love Bo Nix, Troy Franklin on the Broncos, but this team has Tez Johnson. I like him just as much. They got Bucky Irving, Emeka Ibuka, Mike Evans, Mayfield. They got some exciting players, and I really like the pewter, that like metallic, like bronze alloy kind of color on their helmets. I think it's a pretty sweet look. They got low ticket prices. That's always nice. I don't live super close, but that will be nice. The other thing was, I don't know anybody that is a Bucks fan.
That also played a factor for me too.
I've seen enough. I think Will's been frozen for a bit. Oh, there he is. I just had to speak him back into existence. I asked a bunch of friends like who I should go with, and there were a few people that just, I mean, I was expecting like, oh, give me like a good, thoughtful answer. Just straight up said Buccaneers. I was like, I actually might just go with that. I had a buddy who's a Raiders fan who said it, probably just because it's the furthest away from Raiders. But I will say that the person who pushed me over the edge, because it was kind of between this team, the Broncos, and the Titans, actually. The Titans were the third choice. I thought Atlanta, I was just like, I don't know. Anyway, my cousin, not Gare Bear, who we had on, but Gavin Webb. I asked him about this, and that man, that boy, he's in high school. He's a senior in high school. He's not a man or a boy. That menace to society sent me like 3 paragraphs per team, giving me like in-depth like analysis on like what it would mean to like be that like fan and all this stuff. And I'm like, geez, dude. And he's like a hardcore Seahawks fan too, but he just gave me like the rundown. And after I read it all, I'm like, dude, I think I might go with the Bucks. So I was like, dude, I think you convinced me to go with the Bucks. Anyway, very excited. Watch the game. Of course, it's the first loss of the season, so that was super fun.
Yeah, right.
But at least it was to the Eagles and not, the Dolphins or the Browns or something. So like
all of us lost to the Eagles. That's great.
Yeah.
But I mean, since we're still on the topic of the Bucks, because Avery picked them as his favorite team too, I actually wanted to share one more thing that I did not share. So I'm going to share my screen here, and I just wanted to show you guys this video. So if you guys can't hear this, let me know. But this is a video of Baker Mayfield talking to Jason and Travis Kelce on their show, and they're talking about how Baker Mayfield found a home in Tampa Bay. And so I'm just going to play this video for you guys real quick.
What has it been about you in Tampa? I mean, you've played well at times everywhere you've been, but in Tampa, it's really gone to that next level. What do you think has led to that?
This isn't to shit on the other teams and franchises.
No, man, you already know.
But,
man. You got to do.
But like when you step in and your GM and your head coach say, "Hey, just be you."
Yeah.
After I've been told at every stop and everywhere I go, "Hey, you need to tone it down a little bit. You need to be a franchise quarterback." It's just not who I am. I wear my emotions on my sleeves. We've hung out. You guys know me. I'm going to talk shit. Yeah. I'm going to do whatever. But when it's time to turn the lights on and go do something, I'm going to do it. So when I stepped into the building, they all told me to just be myself. And so it's been, not to say like comfortable, but it's felt like home since the beginning. And that's as awesome. A quarterback that's been through a little bit of a journey, you can't ask for anything else.
So let me unshare. So that was one of the biggest factors that played in for me, because I said this on the last episode when talking about why I'm leaving the Dallas Cowboys, is I feel like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the players that play there actually want to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And just that video, like Baker Mayfield saying, like everywhere else I've been, they're like, you have to be a franchise quarterback. And then he comes to Tampa and they're just like, just be Baker Mayfield. Just be you. And that's what I feel like they do with all their players. Like they don't, I mean, obviously there's always going to be pressure to win because you're in the NFL and there's always going to be that pressure. But I just feel like that with an organization that can do that with its players, like that says something about the organization and the people that run it. So that was really important to me because you don't have a guy like Jerry Jones where he's calling people the wrong name. He doesn't even actually know who you are. He doesn't care if you're showing up to camp because eventually he'll give you your deal and he's going to pay you way more money than you actually should get. But it doesn't matter if you're not at training camp though, but you'll eventually get paid, but you can just go do whatever you want for however much time that is. And then just, show up and just play the season because you're getting paid that much, but you don't actually really care that much about winning because you're not going to win. Like, that's not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at all. Like, they care about their players. The players actually want to play there. And that was a really big factor for me. I won't show this on the screen here, but another thing that I saw actually just today that confirmed this is there was a picture of Chris Godwin with a quote that said, "The Buccaneers always believed in me." And that was another big just like confirming factor. Even though I already had picked the Bucs, like that just told me like I picked the right team for me. So that was a big reason why I picked the Buccaneers.
I want to hear more about Will's kind of process about how it kind of got narrowed down.
Sure. So as I've mentioned a couple times, my wife and I went through every team and through the logos, through the teams, through the players, and we started watching games, like watching this team, watching that team. And she's the one that actually first said, I think I kind of like the Rams the most right now. Because I gave her the list of actually, I didn't give her my list. She knew we were going through this process. I said, hey, who are your top teams? And I didn't want to influence her on my people. I wanted to see what she had to say. And I could find it here, but I think she told me she liked the Rams, let me find it here. It's worth a second.
I believe I also have that text that you sent me.
You may actually.
Oh, here it is. So she said, or this is what you told me. She said, not in any order.
Yep.
Bills, Rams, Patriots, or Packers. I can't decide. And then her next three were Raiders, Bucks, and Cowboys.
Yep. I just found the same thing. So I asked her that if she had to pick a top three at that point, and this was back in September 17th. So we're sitting about half a month ago now, before the three of us even decided on a deadline. There was no, well, we had the before next season, but there was no like imminent decision right now kind of thing. And so she said Bills, Rams, and then Patriots or Packers. I'm not too big on the Patriots just in general. And the Packers, I could like the Packers, but I can't like the Packers. And so really it came down to Bills and Rams because both teams were on my top list as well, which she then later asked me eventually, well, who were my top three? And so we were talking about it, and she had said, well, I think I like the Rams, but I don't really have a good explanation. She likes the logo. I like the logo, the colors, the stadium is really nice. Big Matt Stafford fans. It all just kind of fell into place. There was no like immediate, this is right, or this is the absolute standout thing. Separately, the Bighorn Ram, my favorite animal. I love them more than anything. Yes. It's actually my background on my computer is a Bighorn Ram, which was not actually a factor in picking a team, but if the shoe fits, might as well wear it. So
I should introduce you to the North Carolina Tar Heels and Rams. The Rams.
So I have been looking up Rams apparel for, I don't know. I think I sent the first Amazon link Monday, September 22nd. So it's been a full week of sending just, hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? Of like just different apparel and stuff like that. And the Carolina Tar Heel and then CSU Rams and locally there's a Catholic high school in Regis in Staten, and they're the Regis Rams. And so I'm getting a lot of like overlap of like other Rams things. So I have to be very specific. But I want the Los Angeles Rams. My real hang up, and I will get over this. My real hang up with it is I hate California. I hate California, but I will excuse the Rams. I was reading into their history, and the Rams were there first, and then there was the Los Angeles Raiders. There was originally the Los Angeles Chargers, and they were getting overdone, so they moved out to San Francisco or San Diego, and then the Raiders moved to Oakland, and then they tried to move back, and the Rams moved to St. Louis, and they had tried to move back. It was a whole thing. I don't know. The history of it all is very interesting to me. So, go Rams.
Yeah.
Right.
Another part of this for me was just I like Lincoln's story. I mean, I've known about it since, we were kids, but basically just him playing that game of Madden and just hitting random and then, playing with the team and vibing with it and being like, this is going to be the team. Like, I kind of like the element of like, I don't have to choose like the Seahawks because that's where I'm originally from. I don't have to choose the Titans because that's where I live, closest to now. It was kind of like, I kind of like the idea of not being like, this is based on all the analysis, the best team for me. I kind of like the idea of just choosing and then being like, that's it. Like, that's it. Like, I'm a fan now. Like, watching the game this Sunday was awesome. I was like, dude, this is like,
This is
this
how we
feels so
live life,
fresh.
Avery.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one more factor. I already have a burning hatred for the 49ers and the Seahawks. So,
That's
Yeah,
true.
so I
that's-
already
that's a good
hate the
reason.
divisional rivals. So all good there. Like I don't have to learn that. I already hate them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good reason. All right. Well, I'm excited. So, Will, Avery, and I will see you in Week 12 on Sunday Night Football.
Yes, we will. That'll
Bucks
be,
at Rams.
that'll be big. That'll be big. That could be for
Be our first rivalry game.
that'll be huge. Huge for the pod.
All right. Cool. Well, now you guys all know our NFL genders. And so we will move on to our next segment here because we got we went about half the show just talking about our new genders there. So
That means that we're gonna be wearing our team gear to the Raiders Jags game, right? Because I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
anyone there will care. Yeah, that won't be
No,
like
no,
going
no, they
into a
won't, no.
Philadelphia like an Eagles game or anything. This will be like transplants and vacationers purely.
Yeah, let's do it.
I was going to wear my Amari Cooper jersey, but it's a Dallas Cowboys Amari Cooper jersey. But Amari Cooper retired. He's not on the Raiders anymore. And I don't like the Cowboys, so I'm not wearing that anyway.
All right. Cool. So now we're going to get into our top 3 MVP rankings after week 4. It's about a quarter way through the season. It's not exactly a quarter way because, there's 18 weeks, but it's pretty much a quarter way. So, Will, why don't you start us off on this one? Who are your top 3 MVPs after week 4?
Man, I really wanted to put somebody that wasn't a quarterback on this list. I really wanted to.
I did too.
I looked and I tried to so hard. It just didn't happen. And being that I'm wearing this hat, I feel like I'm going to get some hatred here. But first up, I do have Matthew Stafford. He's got
First?
First up, he's got
Wow.
he's second in the league in passing yards. He's got 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's got a 106.1 rating in the year. He's only been sacked 8 times, and that seems like a lot. But if you look at somebody like Drake May, who is not, he has not had a bad season overall. He's been sacked 13 times. So, and that's 5 more over 4 games is significant. The thing that Matthew Stafford doesn't have that mattered to candidates will is he does not run, right? He's a pocket passer. He's a classic kind of quarterback. Another factor of me being drawn to the Rams. I'm a big classic kind of quarterback guy. I like the guy who just stand in the pocket and throw the football. But I do like Stafford. I like what he's doing. The Rams are putting it together. Devontae Adams is fitting in well with that team. And it's making Stafford shine through even more. Number 2, he's going third. I don't like it, but he's going third. I'm going to go with, I guess, man, see, this is, there's too many options because everyone is mediocre. Everyone at the top is kind of bunched up, and then there's just mediocre behind them, right?
Yeah.
And so what matters more? Is it the passing and running? Is it just the passing? Is it winning, right? Because Lamar Jackson, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception this season. He's got 869 yards, but their team's 1-3. He's got 170-something rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. I don't think he cracks the top 3 because their team is losing. And Joe Burrow had a great season last year, but their team sucked, and he wasn't even considered. And so going back to the winning teams, I've got Jordan Love up here. I'm skipping over some guys that probably deserve it more. Jordan Love has 1,000 yards, 69% completion percentage, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception, and that touchdown interception ratio is rather important. He might even be over Matt Stafford because there's only 14 more yards there, and Jordan Love's throwing 1 less interception. But the problem is that when the Packers look bad, they look really bad, and they look bad against the Browns this year. So it doesn't pass the eye test near as much. And third, man, there's just too many right here options. I'm going to go with Jared Goff for number 3 here. I think the Lions are having a great year. He's only got 929 yards. I don't have his rushing yards right up in front of me. I don't think it's 0, but it's not a lot. 9 touchdowns, 2 picks, 73% completion, 73.8. He's got some deep balls. He's got all the weapons. That team looks good, and it makes Jared Goff look good too. And the MVP race, the eye test matters a lot there. Notably, I did skip over Josh Allen. I did skip over Daniel Jones, Justin Herbert. A lot of these guys that probably deserve it more. And chances are at the end of the year, it'll go to either Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen, right? That's just who it's going to go to right now. If Patrick Mahomes keeps up the way he's been playing the last couple of weeks, it could go that way. But I don't know. I like the other guys right now. Their teams are playing well, and so it's making the quarterback stand out even more. Also, I wanted people's names in there that weren't Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Patrick Mahomes. They're my top 3. That's too obvious. Let's mix it up a bit.
All right, Avery, you're next. Give us your top 3 MVP rankings after week 4.
I got Josh Allen at number 1.
Yeah.
Way to follow that up.
Here's the thing. The way I see it, the Bills are, I think as of right now, they're the best team in the league, and he's the best player on that team. I'm sure that he could have a little bit better stats maybe, but that's not how I see it. I don't think they're playing to prove anything stat-wise. I think they're just trying to win games. And I just think of any team, any quarterback, I would not want the Bucs to go up against. And even though they just lost to the Eagles, I still wouldn't want them to go up against the Bills. So I got to put Josh Allen up there just because I feel like any other quarterback, like if you swap teams with people, or, I mean, I'll just go ahead and say real quick who my other guys are because it kind of feeds into this. But I got Matthew Stafford at 2 and Jordan Love at 3. The big difference, and I would even say that Josh Allen separates himself here. And that's not to say that, the other guys are putting up great stats and they're winning. But kind of like Daniel Jones, who I'd probably have at like 4, maybe 5 here, is that it feels like such a delicate situation. Like Daniel Jones from before this season to now just feels like, hey, don't touch anything on the team. Don't switch up any coaching. Like, let him cook, because I'm afraid if we change something, he'll default back to Giants settings. And I feel like a lot of the quarterbacks are kind of in that situation. I think Matthew Stafford is a great system quarterback. I think that he played great at the Lions, but was too dependent on the rest of that team to function, to even be remembered. Like, dude's been in the league so long. He was drafted with Mark Sanchez, Percy Harvin, B.J. Raji from the Packers, who retired about a decade ago. A decade ago. It was 2015. Dude, this guy's been in the league so long. And the thing is it's really just you make sure he has the right personnel around him, and then he just won't make mistakes. But he's not a guy that's going to maybe he can, but he hasn't been known in his career to be a guy that's putting the team on his back. He's just been kind of like Joe Burrow. He's getting all these stats. His team's not winning, but we're not blaming him, but also he's not willing the team to a bunch of victories. And I feel like that's what Josh Allen has. If any team could redraft and they had the first pick, I feel like Josh Allen's the first to go. I feel like he's the biggest difference maker. And I know that I was talking with Joel before Will got on about what the criteria would be for this. Is it are we just talking first 4 weeks? If that was the whole season, who wins the award? Or is it based on what it looks like moving forward? But I feel like until there's, I guess a clear defining line in the stats or the win column, I feel like Josh Allen is just that guy right now.
All right. Yeah. I also have Josh Allen at 1. And, Avery mentioned about his stats. So just some stats that really show like why he should be number one is he's completing 70.2% of his passes right now, which would be a career high if he sustains that throughout the season. Also, that what would be a career high is his passer rating, which is 109.7 right now. If he maintains that or it goes higher, that is a career high for Josh Allen. So he's actually playing some of the best football that he's ever played in his career right now. And he's on pace to rush for 675 rushing yards and 13 rushing touchdowns. And his team has not lost. So that's why I have him at number one. At number two, I also have Matthew Stafford, actually. And, I kind of struggled with number two, to be honest, because I feel like there's a lot of guys that you could put in there. And I did look at when Matthew Stafford, or what he ranked in the MVP voting when Cooper Kupp had his monster season, because Puka Nacua is having a monster season right now. He's on pace to get over 2,000 receiving yards so far. And so I feel like the reason that Stafford is not at number one for me is because of Puka Nacua, because I feel like that people could make the argument like, oh, well, the reason Matt Stafford is so good is because he just throws the ball to Puka Nacua 20,000 times a game. And so that's why I didn't put him at one, but I do think he's having a really, really good start to the season. And so that's why I put him at two. At three, I get to make my first homer pick with Baker Mayfield at number three. And the reason that I put Baker Mayfield at number three is because without Baker Mayfield, I don't think that there's any chance that the Buccaneers would be 3-1. In every single game, Baker Mayfield has been put in bad situations by parts of his team. Special teams, I am talking to you. He has been put in bad situations by his special teams specifically, and he has had to dig them out of that hole. He led the first three games. He led a game-winning drive to win the game. And then in the game against the Eagles, they were down 24-3 at one point. And Baker Mayfield brought that team together and brought them back into that game to bring them within one score. They had a legit chance to actually win that game. They didn't win, but they had a chance to actually win the game after being down 24-3 because of Baker Mayfield. And so I don't feel like there's any other quarterback right now that you could say that about in the league where he is the reason that they are 3-1. 100% he is the reason that they are 3-1. And his stats don't even look that good, which is part of the reason why I have him at three, is because he has only completed 59.7% of his passes. He's not on pace to throw for 4,000 yards, and his passer rating is only good for 16th in the league right now. But if it wasn't for Baker Mayfield, the Buccaneers are nowhere near 3-1. And so that's why I put him at three. So I've got Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, and Baker Mayfield.
I love Rams legend Baker Mayfield. He's great. It's a good pick, Joel.
Hey, we have that connection. Yeah, we do have that connection there.
Well, you're welcome for prepping him for you guys.
All right. I'm just going to say real quick, and then we'll move on to our last topic. I do have a dark horse pick for MVP, and it is Patriots quarterback Drake May. So I like that Will brought it up. And the reason he's a dark horse is because the Patriots are 2-2 right now. And if the Patriots can just make the playoffs, they don't even have to be good. Like, they don't even have to be like the best team. If they just make the playoffs, Drake May, his statistics will put him somewhere in the conversation. I don't think he would win it because, you still got guys like Josh Allen who are up there, but he's on pace to throw for 4,200 passing yards, 30 touchdowns. He has the highest completion percentage in the league right now with 74%. He has the 5th best passer rating, and he's on track to rush for a little over 400 yards and 8 to 9 rushing touchdowns. So I feel like if he maintains the stats that he has right now throughout the season and the Patriots make the playoffs, it would give him at least a chance to get a vote for MVP. That's why he's a dark horse.
I like it.
Going off what you said about Baker real quick, that just showcases the value that, and this is completely separate, truly. But going off what you said about Baker with the Bucs this year, goes to show the true value of Joe Burrow to the Bengals. Right? Without Joe Burrow on that team, that Bengals team is truly the worst in the NFL right now.
Garbage.
They are so bad. They shouldn't be. It's like the Steelers defense. It should be better. They're paying all that money, but it's just okay. this Bengals team isn't even okay, and they're paying their offense a lot of money. But then you lose one guy who all he's doing is putting literally everything he has, including his toe, on the line for you guys, and it just goes to show the value of these guys.
It's wild that like what he's doing right now has just like proven his worth to the team, but he can't even leverage it because he already has. He can't get paid any more if he wants his team to get any better.
Right.
So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
God, I'm already like I'm already capped out, and now like we still need a better team. Yikes!
As much as it kind of sucks to say, I think also Dak Prescott gets some honorable mention here because it started very bad. At most games, it starts very bad. But even yesterday, and we've got him in fantasy, and so we see it. I saw a headline and I rolled my eyes, because the game ended in a tie. But it was Dak Prescott finally unleashed for the season. It's like, okay, but you didn't even win, okay? You didn't lose, sure, but you didn't win. And so if he continues the way he played yesterday, the second half of Sunday's game, he could have a fair chance. I don't think that team's going to win very many games this year, so that will kind of kick him out like Lamar Jackson, but he has a shot if he keeps playing the way he finished that game.
That's why I didn't put him in, because I don't think the Cowboys are going to win very many games because their
Right.
defense is just terrible. And Dak Prescott's going to have to play at that level every single game in order
Right.
to tie. In order to tie.
Right.
Not even win, just tie.
Like Joe
So,
Burrow did last
yeah.
year. Had to play lights out, and they still lost anyway.
Right. Right. All right. So this conversation kind of leads into our last topic. And this topic it came to my mind based off of a Instagram post from Fun Football Podcast. So shout out to Fun Football Podcast for the inspiration. He raised the question, and he's a Packers fan. So he raised the question, is Jordan Love a franchise quarterback? And so this got me thinking about the question, well, what is a franchise quarterback? Because I feel like based off of that question about Jordan Love, you could say that he is or he isn't, depending on how you view what a franchise quarterback is. And so we're just going to talk about what is actually a franchise quarterback. And so to start this off, I'm not going to tell you guys the names of these players, but I have 3 players that I looked at their careers and how long they've been in the NFL, their win percentage, their playoff percentage, how many times they've made the playoffs, all that stuff. And I'm just going to read it to you guys, and you may be able to figure out who it is just based off of me reading it, but I'm going to read these stats, and I want you guys to tell me, just based off the stats alone, is this a franchise quarterback or is it not a franchise quarterback? The first one, this is his 10th year in the league. He has a 61% win percentage in the regular season. He has made the playoffs 5 times. He is 2-5 in the playoffs, and he has been second in MVP voting. Is that a franchise quarterback or not a franchise quarterback?
I know who this is.
If you know it, you can say it.
Arguably should have won MVP that year. This is Dak Prescott, yeah?
It is.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott.
I feel like the answer is yes, because a true franchise quarterback, in my opinion, is good enough to get a team there, but shouldn't have to do everything by themselves, because it takes a full team to win. And it has been proven half of his career, a little over, because I think this is his 10th year, yeah? And so if he's been to the playoffs,
Yes.
if he's been to the playoffs 5 times in 9 years, it's a little over 50% of the time he's making the playoffs. And 2 wins, some of it is definitely on him, but having seen all of those playoff games, every single one of them, he's not out there playing defense. He's not the one that can't stop the run, all right? He's not the one letting Aaron Jones run for 250 yards on the Dallas defense. So I would say
On
yes.
one play.
Yeah, no joke.
All right, cool. So the next one, this player has also been in the league for 10 years, so this is his 10th season. He has a 60.8% win percentage. He has also made the playoffs 5 times. He is 5-5 in the playoffs. He did not win, but he has played in a Super Bowl.
I know who this is too.
Who is it?
Jared Goff.
It is Jared Goff.
I'm good at this game. Avery, you take this one.
You got him. I would say, yeah. I like the point that Will brought up, which is that, it's not just the quarterback that wins these games. You can only will it so much. I mean, I feel like I feel like Baker could have willed it out if that punter had done his job. the first drive.
Right.
And so there's things like that where it's like, okay, we all saw this game and we all know, I'm not talking about any particular game, but if you guys lose, if you lose a game, everyone who's watching it like kind of knows what the factors were. However, fast forward 5 years, it's the quarterback's fault. It's like, how many games have you won? And so I feel like on one hand, I feel like stability and consistency are probably like some of the biggest markers of a franchise quarterback. I almost feel like it's kind of like, hey, look, like with Dak or with Jared Goff, it's like, look, we have these two guys here that are more than capable of doing the job. Can we please get some adequate players at these other positions to allow them to do that job? Because right now we're either putting too much expectations on them or asking them to do too much to the point where it's getting a little sloppy. It's not as methodical. It's not as well-rounded. And so I feel like I kind of see it almost as a placeholder. It's like, oh, sweet, you guys have your franchise quarterback. It's too bad you don't have the right pieces to win a Super Bowl. What a total waste, because I do feel like having a solid quarterback is kind of like, with the Cowboys situation, having that generational pass rusher where it's like, look, you don't just pick one of these up in free agency casually. Like, we got this. Now let's go out and put together this team. And I feel like bringing it back around to the Bucs, I feel like that's what they'll do is they'll like find guys that's like, look, we can, rather than having this stringent kind of culture that we're trying to, make everyone be a certain thing. It's like, hey, look, we drafted you. We picked you up. We know what you're about. We did our homework. We want you to be you. We want you to be professional at the games. We come in here and win. We want you to win. But for the most part, rounding it, getting all the way back to what we're talking about, I feel like that consistency and that ability to perform is probably just the most important thing. I feel like a guy like Matt Stafford sticking around the league as long as he has, like, I think he could be a franchise quarterback. And I feel like you've seen it. Like, as soon as you put him on a team that has the other pieces, he comes alive. And then I feel like when Goff got traded over to the Lions and they basically swapped him, they kind of had a bit of a culture shift, with their new coach and everything. And it kind of like brought everything back to life, but really just consistency.
All right. So the third one. So this player has been in the league for 5 years. So this is his 5th season. He has a 54% win percentage. He has made the playoffs twice, and he is 1-2 in the playoffs.
Is this Jordan Love? Who is this?
It is Jordan Love.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Technically, he has made the playoffs 3 times, but I didn't want to give it away by saying, oh, he was the starter for the first, couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it is Jordan Love.
I would say he is. I was not high on him even when we started this podcast, but just seeing his production, maybe he is. And then it kind of brings me back to what I was talking about before. It's like maybe the Packers just had that team ready where you put in any quarterback. Because I feel like there's teams where like you could probably put in Shador and he wouldn't be half bad. If you bring in a guy that like is properly protected, has time to pass, has playmakers, has a run game, has a defense that doesn't put pressure on the offense. These guys are all professional quarterbacks. I feel like a lot of times it's like it is kind of a delicate situation, like I was saying with Daniel Jones, where it's like maybe it is just the right situation. A quarterback, you're constantly under pressure in the pocket. Maybe there's a few little changes that need to happen for the quarterback just to like calm down a bit. And then that kind of, what is it, that avalanche kind of, what's the balls rolling snowball effect? Where it's like, okay, I'm a little more comfortable. I complete a few more passes, gets us a few more first downs, few more scores. We're a little bit more comfortable, gives us a few more wins. And so a lot of time I just feel like, yeah, maybe it's even like Baker's. Like I just didn't feel like I was home. I didn't feel like they really, like I was allowed to be me. And that probably hindered him enough, to not do as well as he could have done.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling.
All right. Well, I actually have 3 more names. If you guys want me to keep going, I have 3 more names here that we could talk about. But I also want to make sure that you guys get your stuff in. So like if you guys have something to say, feel free. But I have 3 more names if you guys want me to do them.
I want
to. Okay. So this next one, this player is in their 4th season. He has a 63% win percentage. He has made the playoffs twice. He has a 4-2 record in the playoffs. He has not won but he has played in the Super Bowl.
I'm thinking of Purdy. That's not Purdy, right?
It is Brock Purdy.
Oh, shoot. Dang.
So
I'm guessing on these. I don't know these.
I wanted to put him on there because Will specifically does not like Brock Purdy. And so
Fair.
I feel like Will should answer this one.
So the question is Brock Purdy a franchise quarterback, right?
Yes. And
Just
would
say
you have
no.
said yes? Would you have said yes if you say no? Would you have said yes based off of just those statistics without knowing his name?
I would probably say yes, right? Because if you're good enough to get to the playoffs, what, twice, 3 times?
Twice
Twice in a
in
Super
4
Bowl
years.
appearance once, yeah. So 2 times in 4 years. Is this his 4th year?
This is his 4th
So
season.
2 times in 3 years then, because this one doesn't count.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so 2 times in 3 years and 1 Super Bowl appearance. That is the dream. You draft a guy at any spot, you get in his 3 full seasons, you get to the Super Bowl once and the playoffs twice. That's like the dream. I don't think he's very good, but in the Kyle Shanahan offense, he doesn't have to be. It's a lot of short passes, short dump offs. They've got, had a tight end that could make the play. They've got, for now at least, a running back that can make the play. And so the short stuff is his game. But like Avery said, I feel like anybody can kind of do that. I feel like,
What about Trey Lance?
I mean, I feel like he had a bad deal. He had a bad shake. Right? They traded the house for him and they didn't even want to start him. Now, I also think that they traded the house to get him when he played like 8 total games in his college career, which is wild to me. That's a Kyrie Irving stat, that Kyrie Irving was actually good. So there's a basketball reference. Second one, actually. 2 basketball references.
Dude, I remember that. And as someone who, sorry, this is an aside, but it's Duke. As someone who watched most of his games until he got hurt, he got drafted number 1. I still thought that was totally worth it. I was like, this guy was freaking magic.
Yeah.
And I was not looking forward to Carolina playing him. So when he went number 1 and that got brought up, he hasn't played many games. I'm like, yikes, dude, this guy's going to tear it up. Anyway, sorry.
Same thing with Trey Lance. Didn't play a lot in college, didn't go to a D1 school, and then he went, 3rd, 2nd, something like that? I think Trey Lance had a bad deal, and Brock Purdy kind of stepped in and is giving it the Tom Brady mantra. I don't need to be the best. I need to be the best available. I need to be the best on the team that can put us in a spot to win. Now, they did just lose their first game of the season, and they're going to lose their second one on Thursday. But still, when they make Brock Purdy make the plays, he doesn't seem to do well. Neither did Jimmy Garoppolo. Neither did, I can't even remember all these recent Niners quarterbacks.
Kaepernick.
Yeah, Kaepernick. Well, actually,
We
he
don't
was a
need
bit
to
different.
talk about that guy.
Yeah, he was a bit different. So I don't think
He's still waiting on that tryout.
I would not call him a franchise quarterback. I would actually call him like a Geno Smith type. He's currently a stopgap until somebody better comes along. Because let me tell you, if they had the option, if the Niners had the option to trade for a Jared Goff or even a Matt Stafford, give him a couple years of like actual really good weaponized quarterback play. I mean, you heard it over the offseason. Oh, let's get Aaron Rodgers. Let's bring Rodgers in here. Okay, but you got Brock Purdy, and you said he was your guy. And so there's always that. There's going to be somebody better. You don't hear the Packers talking about, well, what if we had Rodgers back? What if we got Brady at retirement? What if we got Manning? Well, obviously not Manning now, but you get the sentiment.
Arch.
Well, not him either.
Not anymore.
So I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. I think that he is good enough. Obviously, if you can get to the Super Bowl, you're good enough. But if the team is talking about, if the team is talking about what free agents are available and bringing somebody in, then you're not their actual franchise guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm interested to see what you guys have to say about these last two. So, this player is in his 3rd season. He has won 55.5% of his games. He has made
Wait, sorry, what season?
His 3rd season.
3rd.
He has made the playoffs twice, and he is 2-2 in the playoffs. So he has made the playoffs both years he's been in the league.
Oh, is this CJ Stroud?
It is CJ Stroud.
Dude, we're crushing this, Avery.
You guys are doing a lot
It's
better
funny.
than I thought.
I feel like either you know it or I know it, but neither. It's never both. Like the three you got, I'm like, I have no idea, dude.
We are doing.
I was about to say, what's his
100%.
freaking what's his name? Clemson quarterback, but I was like, no, he's been in
Trevor
a
Lawrence.
longer.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
So in his first 2 years, he made the playoffs both times,
Yes.
and now he's in his third season.
And
I think
won
it's too
a
early to
playoff game.
tell.
And won a playoff game both times.
I think it's too early to tell.
Yeah, because he had a great rookie year and then a down sophomore year, and I feel like
Is this his third year?
This
This is
so
his
so
third
he's
year,
got
yeah.
this year and one more year guaranteed, right? And his rookie contract are usually 4-year guarantees, right?
Plus his 5th-year option if they choose to pick it up.
CJ Stroud feet picks. Oh, sorry, that was out loud.
They're good ones. He's got good ones.
He's got to make money somehow while he's on his rookie deal. Come on.
Oh
Yeah, it's too early, man.
yeah, $36 million fully guaranteed. You gotta make money somehow. Yeah, four fully guaranteed years. Yeah, I think it's too early to tell. I think that we won't know until the end of this season, actually. I don't think it takes 4 full years to know, but I think it takes 3 full years to know. And like starting
Real
years.
quick, if some of these quarterbacks were put on the Browns, would that still make them a franchise quarterback? Or does the organization, if it's too toxic or something, have a way of reversing that? Meaning, how much of it is on the quarterback? If we
Baker
had
Mayfield.
Jared Goff. Right. No, but that's what I'm saying is like until he leaves and then goes to another team for 3 years, now we're like, oh, okay, this guy got it. Daniel Jones, okay. So
Matthew
like
Stafford.
I wonder. Yeah. Well, I would even say Stafford. I mean, yeah, they didn't win a lot of games, but he was like the Dak Prescott of the 2000s, like putting up
Kinda,
solid
yeah.
fantasy numbers and not winning,
Yeah.
like being very quiet. But I wonder how much of that comes down to the organization, because I would even say for CJ Stroud, he's on the Texans. And like, yeah, you did pretty well your rookie season. So did Dak Prescott and Zeke. You know, it's like, okay, that was your freshman year. We'll see how you do your sophomore year. He had a little bit of a slump. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. But now it's like, I mean, this season, I guess we'll see where it takes it. But I just wonder how many guys are stuck behind the paywall. How many guys are stuck on a team that is actively holding them back to the point where it's like, dude, if Mayfield didn't go to the Bucs and went to some other team as a backup, dude, we would just have never known. He would have been a bust right next to Johnny Manziel, except for the, attitude and compulsion. But like,
right. I don't know if
I
that's
just
true about
wonder.
Mayfield, though. And those
I mean, no, he's still got more time. There's no way he just wasn't going to play again.
Right.
But I mean, it's real easy to accidentally fall into a situation where it's like, oh, yeah, we thought we were going to have you play, but actually we have this other quarterback playing. And then the next season, they just don't pick you up. And then you get forgotten about. You get picked up later as an afterthought by another team. And it just has a way of just seeing, these like I would say less than middle of the road quarterbacks just kind of falling out. These Drew Lock type players. Like, you don't even know what he looks like, but he's there. You know he exists. You know he's on the roster, but you don't remember where he played in college. You don't remember when he was drafted, where he's been. It's like, oh, it's this guy that's like here, TJ Yates. I'm just thinking like, okay, it's real easy to slip into that category. And I just wonder if that's easy for other teams to pick out and point out when an organization is holding the quarterback more than the quarterback himself.
See, and just to keep talking about Baker here, his 4 years in Cleveland, he threw for 14,000 yards, 92 touchdowns, 56 picks. That's really good over 4 years. That's per season? That's 3,500 yards per season, 23 touchdowns, 14 picks. He had 29-30 records. So I think as much as the organization can make the quarterback, sometimes your franchise guys are going to persevere through. And that's why Baker was able to keep getting opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. That's why, you look at some of these other guys who were at the Browns for any amount of time. Like that's where their career goes to die. Look at the All-Star Brandon Whedon. Okay, he didn't go anywhere after the Browns. He was also 45, but still, that's not the point. So, I think that as much as you get to blame the organization, you also don't get to, because the good players are still going to shine through. Look at Christian McCaffrey. That Panthers team has been bad, but Christian McCaffrey was great. Look at Luke Kuechly on the same Panthers team. That defense was bad, but yet you were afraid to go up against Luke Kuechly specifically. He was playing for all 11 players, and it can be said that way about every organization. So even when Dallas was bad in the Jason Garrett years, you still knew that Tony Romo and Des Bryant were going to go for 250 yards a game at any given point. So it was just one of those things that the franchise players, not just quarterbacks, players, are going to shine through. Now, it has not been the case so far this year with the Bengals. I would truly expect Jamar Chase's production to maintain, because if you're the true one, and you're the true franchise player, and Jamar Chase is that guy, I would expect more production out of him. But that's not the case, and so I don't know. I digress so far. I'm talking about the Browns, Bengals, and Panthers at this point, and nobody wants to talk about them.
All right, next quarterback. All right. So this is our last one, and then we'll wrap up. So this quarterback is in his 6th year in the league. He has a 59% win percentage. He has made the playoffs one time, and he has not won a playoff game.
Is that Trevor?
It is not Trevor.
Oh, Burrow. No.
No.
What the hell? He's been in the Super Bowl.
6 years, one playoff appearance, no wins.
I can give you a hint if you want.
No.
It's Baker.
No, it's not Baker.
Is it Herbert?
It is not.
Ooh, okay, I don't know. Give me a hint.
It is Tua.
That's a good hint, Joel.
That is a good hint. That's a great one.
Thanks
I
for
like
the
that.
hint. Is it Tua?
Yeah, it is Tua. I actually wasn't really listening when you said give me a hint, and I just thought you said just tell us. So
yeah.
yeah.
That's pretty typical. I don't listen either. It's fine. I don't blame you at all.
So if I was to have given you a hint, the hint would have been his team has made the playoffs twice, but he was not available for one of those playoff games, which I feel like would have given it away. So,
Not to me.
so do you guys think Tua is a franchise quarterback or no?
So I think Tua is a special case because he's left-handed and he sucks. Those two are not separate.
Yeah.
Those two are together.
So no.
No, I think his injuries keep him from that category. He's not.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's not available, and you'll hear the old timey coaches say the best ability is availability. And if you're not available to be there for your team because of injury or whatnot, or too many concussions, you can't be a franchise guy if you're always hurt.
So, how would Burrow fit into this? What would be the difference? As on one hand, is one of them just a bad line, and the other one is a guy that's more injury prone? Or is it just what they've been able to do despite the injuries that gives you at least a glimmer of hope of what they could do if they didn't have it?
I think you hit it right there, Avery. I think you're right. It's that what you're able to do while you're on the field. Because even looking at this year and the short 4 games we've had of Tua this year, we'll call it 3.5 games, they have an all-star offense, but they just can't seem to do anything. And so you put Burrow or any other of these, if you put Josh Allen on that or the Dolphins team right now, that team is gonna be like Tyreek Hill is running go routes every single play, and Josh Allen's throwing 90-yard touchdown bombs just every single time. So I don't know. It's a bit shocking with the same coach, same quarterback in a system for so long that it's not working, which somebody's got to be the problem.
Yeah. All right. So we'll wrap it up with this. Avery, after all that conversation, what is a franchise quarterback?
Franchise quarterback is someone consistent and dependable that you can rely on to deliver. I wouldn't say they have to be anything supernatural, just solid and dependable, and someone that the coaches and teammates can trust.
All right. I agree. All right. So that's all we have time for on today's episode. Next week, I don't know what we're talking about. So stay tuned for something. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. And we'll be back next week. And as always, don't forget to keep your balls played with. We'll see you next time.
Bye now, y'all.
Go Bucks.
Also, Mark Davis' haircut still sucks.